Is it really Rocky?
Yes, it is, girl.
Is it really you? So nice to see you.
Same, same.
How you been?
Pretty good. Stuff in my face, eating dinner.
Great. We love that. This is dinner theater after all.
Yes, ma'am.
So, to my comedy about trauma students, do you guys know Rocky, a legend among Goldies?
Love me some
Yeah.
Annie.
Weirdly joined twice, and I don't know how to fix that.
Hmm.
I'll be back.
Okay. Rocky, we thank you so much for joining us this evening. We will be
Be on special guest tonight.
yes, very good. We'll hang out to see who else joins. And if it's just us, we're gonna have a little party.
Sorry, I don't know how to fix this.
Oh, are you still joined twice?
Yeah, I don't know how to. My computer.
That's all right. It makes the crowd look bigger. I thought this was intentional. Uh-oh. Looks like it says I'm the only person. Okay, hold on. I think that sent my friend the wrong link.
Send them the short link. It's bit.ly/goldcat624.
I think that's what
Hi, sweetheart.
Uh-oh. Oh, can't. Oh, that won't work. Hold on. Uh-oh. Okay, you said BIT.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
.ly
Dot
slash
LY backslash
gold
gold.
cat, as in comedy about trauma. 624, as in June 24.
Okay. Oh yeah, my friend Tiffany was able to join. That's interesting.
It is case sensitive.
Tiffany, I sent Tiffany and Emily the same link. Hey Tiffany. So
What
let me
up?
tell you, one of the first times I did a show, and this was in person, I had Tiffany. Tiffany came, and I have a joke with the name Tiffany in it, and it's not a very nice joke.
Well,
And
I'm not very nice.
I completely forgot. And I just felt like I couldn't change the name because I was afraid I was going to mess it up. And then I did the same joke. She had heard it. She was fine with it, whatever. It really is not a nice joke. And then the next time I did it, I knew Tiffany was joining, but she'd already heard the joke. But then her husband was there, which I wasn't expecting. And that just, oh God, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Well, should we know the joke now? I mean,
No, no, it's really bad.
okay, tell us the joke, but say Carolyn.
Okay, the punchline is, oh, I can't even say it. It's so bad.
Yes, you can, Cynthia.
Well, you have to hear the whole joke, but the punchline is Carolyn writes for fun. And you don't even want to know.
That's not a punchline, that's a fact. It's funny because it's true. Well, hello to our guests, Emily, Tiffany, Rocky. Thank you for being here. I'm going to just chit chat a little bit and introduce you guys to what we're going to do tonight. This is the Comedy About Trauma class show. Okay. You guys are here to see some friends, which is wonderful. These comedians have been working so hard on material that is about tougher stuff, right? So this is a class that I've taught a couple times for Gold now. I have created a lot of work myself around trauma. Not to brag, but I have a show right now about my grandparents dying in a murder-suicide. So I'm obviously very cool. So, you know, I've learned how to laugh through the pain over the years, and it's something that I'm really, really happy and honored to share with other comics. So you're going to see, you know, topics that kind of run the gamut tonight, from lower level traumas to more like deeply personal stuff. And we hope that you will feel a wonderful catharsis with us, let out your laughs. So it's great if you can be on camera. We love that. If you can be unmuted, that's also wonderful. If you can only do one of those, fine. If you can't do any of them, we will still vibe with you. Okay. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. You're very, very wonderful. Yes, it is going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So if you're looking for something to do this summer, come to Scotland. All right. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, Lynn is not here tonight, but Lynn Harris runs Gold Comedy. This is a Gold Comedy class. It's a wonderful space for women, non-binary, people of color, trans folks, LGBTQ folks, essentially like a, you know, non-white guy zone. And we love each other and we have a great time. So if you're interested, check that out, goldcomedy.com. And without much further ado, I don't want to do too much material. I did get a haircut today. What do we think? I know.
Cute. So cute.
Thank you. Well, Emily, you weren't here when I was telling the rest that Adriana, my teenage daughter, she was like, I feel like it's like edgy times retro plus mom minus cool, or whatever the fuck she said. She didn't say minus anything. She would never minus me anything. See, that's my own self-doubt creeping in when I try to give myself one fucking compliment. But yeah, I think it's a good cut. And I'm trying to let the gray come through. So I just want people to know I'm old. I don't know. Does anyone else relate to that? Emily, how old are you, may I ask?
I'm 37.
There's another Emily here, Emily.
Oh, sorry.
I'm in a very loud place. Sorry. I am 47.
Great. I'm 47 too. I felt the vibes. I was like, this is Gen X right here. Do you feel, are you enjoying that? Like gravitas? Come see, come saw. And plus,
I don't know if I would call it gravitas, but I'm trying to maintain the whimsy.
that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. We'll give you as much whimsy as we can tonight. I love that Emily Goldstein answered that question. I mean, of every student I've ever had, Emily does define the phrase teacher's pet. And, you know, we love her for it, right? And I rely on her. She's become my TA. Anytime I need a link or something, I'm like, Emily, help out, da da da. She's always there. She's stalwart. She's gonna, you know, talk about how she got that way later tonight. So there will be some discussions of family dynamics. We're gonna talk about some medical issues. We're gonna talk about bullies. So, you know, all shit that we can all relate to. Cynthia Overton, she's here in New York City, where she's now living part-time. She went to see Stephen Colbert's taping today. And because she works in and around DC, she was like, they actually had really intense sniper security there, which she was able to identify, which I think is hilarious and scary. But as I said, comedy is powerful, right? This is powerful stuff, what we're about to do. So to my students, have fun, enjoy yourselves. I look forward to laughing with you. To our guests, thank you for being here. Laugh, enjoy. You can put stuff in the chat if you want. And let's have a great time, yeah? Okay, I'm going to bring your first comedian to the stage. She is the youngest among us. She is from the fiercest generation, Gen Z. Okay, and she put on a bold yet soft lip just for this show. Please welcome to the Zoom stage, Evangeline Beltran.
Woo!
Here are some words I heard in the last 24 hours. Swallow, honey, no spitting. Good girl. Be a good girl for me. Can you smile for me? No going to the bathroom without permission! I heard them all in a first grade classroom working as a teacher's aide. Teaching kids has brought up some memories of me growing up as a highly masked, super late diagnosed autistic. So late that I'm still not. I can't afford it. Funny story, I thought this entire year I earned $14 an hour and my mom was so disappointed in me because I earned less than minimum wage. Turns out I've been earning $20 an hour this entire time. So it was either get diagnosed or get a graduate degree, and I don't know about you, but I'd rather have a chance of a good paying job than validation in the eyes of the medical establishment. I know I'm autistic, and that's all that matters. Exactly what I tell myself when I convince myself that that hot guy from The 100 will someday realize his undying love for me and that we're soulmates. I know, and that's all that matters. I feel like my own first grade experience would be the most relevant place to start, but where is the comedy in a selectively mute autistic girl in a Catholic environment who doesn't say anything but mouths all the right answers and steals sensory-friendly toys from the classroom? I take comfort in the fact that the Spanish colonizers would be really mad that I wasn't following prescribed social norms in a Catholic environment. I was decolonizing before it was cool. I didn't have friends, I didn't want them. Mostly I just wanted to be left alone to stim with those name tags you put on those pencil cases. And they kept getting taken away from me. You know who you are! I had a crush then, and I didn't know it was a crush yet, but when she had glasses, I bought glasses at a time when I didn't really need them yet. There's this one picture I have where my butt is against hers at a class party, and I did that to make it look like we were involved. Just picture me, hair, like a poodle, in a white tank dress, happily bumping my butt against this unknowing girl who doesn't have a clue of what's happening. And oh my god, I still do that. Not the butt thing, obviously, but tricking people into thinking I have a significant other until that person figures it out and blocks me from tagging them. In 7th grade, I did a pirouette in the hallway, and this mean girl, let's call her Regina George, because she basically is one, was like, oh my god, do it again. And me, being unable to read tone, actually did it. So every time she would be like, so which character in Glee is most like you? Or do you want to be a pop star when you grow up? I would just give short answers like, Rachel, and yes. Just so that she would leave me alone. Like, why are you continuing to be nice to me? You are upsetting the role of the universe. I understood who Regina was immediately because I was obsessed with Disney Channel, and in those movies I devoured, there was always a clear-cut villain. The Sharpay Evans, the Tess Tyler, the evil white girl who was jealous of the modest but sweet girl of color whose undeniable talent and was continually trying to undermine her. I'm Filipino, and this is why Asian Americans are like, I never felt like the main character, and when that happens, I'm enraged that I wasn't. You guys don't get it. This girl got every fucking solo and was completely ruining my dreams of being a star. Maybe that's a problem. However, according to AI chat Jamie Tart, everything I feel is completely normal. So imagine it's 2012. I want to be a star. Camp Rock is the movie if you want to be a star. So I buy a Camp Rock activity book at Justice. The Camp Rock activity book said a true diva figured out the exact center of the stage for when she got solos, and I wanted to do that during middle school orientation, but apparently it was locked or something? Autistic girls treat media as our personal social handbook, and I was determined to be Rachel Berry. If I had no friends, I was determined to have the spotlight. And I did. I just had to wait 3 years. I didn't go to my junior prom, and I don't regret it. None of my friends were planning on going, and it is hell going to a dance alone, knowing that everyone else either has their friends or their dates, and they don't give a fuck about you. Not even if you're the best dressed person there, it doesn't even matter. Also, it was all about having a date, and how am I supposed to find a hot guy to go with in these conditions? So she has this group of friends, and she only talked to them and acted like they were better than everyone else. And there was this huge drama about the clickiness problem. She was like, there shouldn't be this tension. We're supposed to be a family. And in that moment, I finally understood her. Oh, this is like that Easter Sunday movie with Joe Coy. You were either Team Tita Teresa or Team Tita Susan. Who wore the dress better? Who made the best pancit? Whose side are you going to take for the entirety of all family reunions? Oh. Drum Month was fun the first 2 years, but then it was not so fun when little Miss Regina George only told her super large friend group about Spirit Week during Tech Week. I only knew because one of the nice ones in that group was like, hey, you know about Spirit Week, right? Well, yeah, but I thought it was just a your group thing. I thought we were just supposed to pretend not to know about it, like so many drama club boys' true sexualities. That's my set, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, Evangeline. You'll be happy to know that my daughter walked in just in time for your final punchline, and she went, "Oh." We've all been there. One more time for Evangeline Beltran, everybody. Making $6 more an hour than she thought. What are you gonna do with all that extra coin?
Well, I think I'm gonna order a letter from Jamie Tart from Ted Lasso and tell him about the art festival I was at where I got to talk to so many kids and a toddler talked to me in gibberish the entire time the Honor Society was performing.
I love it. I love it. That's wonderful. All right. I'm going to bring your next comedian to the Zoom stage. Oh, hold on. Someone's coming into the room. Woohoo! Hello. Hello, LaToya. I don't know when people can hear you. I think now. Hi, LaToya. Thanks for joining. I'm about to bring your second comedian up. So you came in just in time. She is my TA. She works at an unnamed Ivy League university just outside of Boston. She she is very funny and sweet and wonderful. You'll love her. Put your hands together for Emily Goldstein.
Hey!
My mom is getting old and it sucks. I want a refund. I want to speak to the manager, right? I'm white. That's what white people do. My mom can never hear me on the phone. She keeps repeating herself. Her stomach is always gurgling. Probably because she's having soup for breakfast. Why the fuck is my mom having soup for breakfast? Because she's ready to die. Only people who have given up on life have liquid for breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, she's only 72, but she's ready to die. She's already planned out that 80 is the time to go. And I mean, don't we all wish we could go out on our own terms? We'll be on the phone talking about laundry. And she'll tell me it'll only be a matter of time before I won't be able to go down the stairs anymore. she's gonna die. We'll be talking about traveling to other countries, and she'll tell me, I didn't renew my passport because I'm gonna die. We'll be talking about cars, and she'll tell me, this Honda Civic is my last car because I'm gonna die. And you know what? She's right, because once you buy Honda Civic, that's your car for life. It's gonna go a million miles. She's a narcissist, and like all narcissists, she doesn't want to grow old and lose her looks. Womp womp. Every once in a while, she loves to tell me what to do with her body when she dies. She wants to be cremated and maybe have her ashes scattered in Maine or Florida or Kalamazoo. And I'm like, Mom, maybe you should put all of this in your will. You know, just in case I don't remember. I'm a really anxious person, and when bad things happen, the brain isn't braining. Like, what if I forget where she wants her ashes to be scattered? Like, oh, Ariel? Really? Wait, did she say Oahu or Ohio? I don't remember. Ariel's my little sister. The problem is I haven't really driven in years. So now I got to relearn how to drive. So I'll be prepared to take her ashes somewhere. Thank God I'll be able to use her Honda. It's actually incredible that my mom and I are talking right now, because for years we weren't. She disowned me. My family is Jewish, and I converted to Islam. Whoops. So here is my mom crying that I turned my back on the tribe. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. What am I missing? Plugging in the electric menorah and turning on the candle for Hanukkah? Also go to Passover Seder because I love latkes and fried potatoes. I mean, we were barely reformed. Like the lowest possible level practicing you could be. Like ham in the house, Shabbat Shalom outside the house. And these days I'm culturally Jewish and spiritually Muslim. Like salam in the front, alaikum in the back. After I converted, I also started wearing the hijab because I don't half-ass things. I full-ass things. I showed up to my grandma's funeral fully covered. I'm talking headscarf, long sleeves, maxi skirt. Pull up to the house with my aunt. My mom comes out of the house onto the path and the sidewalk and starts screaming at me. How her parents fled Eastern Europe to escape the Holocaust. If they knew that the great granddaughter would end up becoming Muslim, they would have stayed and taken their chances. Is this a good time to tell you guys that I married a narcissist who said that if I were alive during the Holocaust, Hitler wouldn't kill me because I'm too pretty? I don't know. Maybe they would have had a good chance at surviving, like hashtags, genetics, hashtag winning. I said hashtags. Anyways, we didn't talk after that for a number of years. You know, it only took COVID, a worldwide health emergency, to bring us back together. And now I'm worried about stupid shit, like her up and dying on me. She's not allowed to die. Parents just don't die, okay? They live forever like stuffed animals. What I'm trying to say is that she fucking better live longer than 80, because 80 is the new 60, and it's gonna take a lot longer to repair this relationship. Yeah, my mama's getting old, and it sucks. Thank you.
I was like, oh.
Emily Goldstein, everybody.
Woo!
Tell you, I have a narcissistic mother as well, and I think about her dying a lot. Because you just know that they need to be the center of attention, and so I'm afraid to get married again because she'll die on my wedding day. I'm like, this is why I can't invite you. I can't tell you. And you think I'm exaggerating, and I'm not really. Like, so my mom came to my daughter's high school graduation here in Brooklyn. The graduation was in King's Theater. It was beautiful. It was amazing. All the kids were great. We leave the theater. We walk half a block. My mother falls and breaks her arm.
On purpose?
Break
Oh my God.
I mean, you tell me, that's the thing. And my friends were like, sometimes people hurt themselves for attention. I was like, yes, I know. I know. Then now my daughter goes to Cornell, no big deal. And we went up there, and my mother almost fucking fell while we were walking around. And I said, I swear to God, if you fall here, I will never speak to you again. And she goes, what's funny, Carolyn? I don't fall when you're not around.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
I go with Carlos.
Yep, to whatever that person said. So, all right. Well, we feel your pain. Thank you for sharing with us. I'm going to bring your next comic up here. She's wonderful. She's coming to us from Los Angeles, California. Put your hands together for Hazel Calderon.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So my story begins on the summer of 2016. Hold on, sorry. Sorry. I'm taking it back. Okay. Sorry, got too nervous here. I'm gonna take it back. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, to our audience, you got to know Hazel is the ray of sunshine. Like, she's an unbeatable spirit. She's so funny, and she always gives us the woo. So that's her power move, and she's taking it back. Okay, we're starting over. Let's welcome to the Zoom stage, Hazel Calderon.
Woo! Thank you so much. Okay, so my story begins in the summer of 2016. Yes, this is when my life forever changed. I've always been fit, active, and energized. But for the very first time, my body was changing from the inside out. Suddenly, I was getting bloated. Bloated, yes, after each meal. Like, I would have a snack, almond and peanuts, and boom. But I knew it wasn't normal. But it never occurred to me to call a doctor. Instead, I asked my friends. So I asked my girlfriends, are you getting bloated after eating a meal? And they were like, yes, Hazel, this is normal. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna eat almonds or peanuts. Okay, so cut to October of 2016, to be exact. I get a letter from my union, SAG-AFTRA. It says that I'm eligible for SAG insurance. And I'm like, what? You want me to pay money to have insurance? Are you crazy? I'm so healthy. I don't need insurance. What a waste of money. Okay. So, cut to summer of 2017. I am laying in my couch. I'm dying because I just went through a really bad breakup, and I think it's the end for me, and I don't know what to do, and I'm so sad. And suddenly I remember that I am in the month of July. I studied Kabbalah for 4 years. Kabbalah says that on the month of July, the energy is Cancer. And if you are feeling sick, depressed, crying, you can attract a sickness. I was like, hell no, I'm getting up. I got up. I made a promise to myself that I was going to be happy the end of July. Okay, so cut to end of July. Once again, I'm laying in my bed, but this time I touch my belly. My surprise was I felt hard avocados inside my belly. And I was like, whoa, oh my God, what's happening? I got so scared. I didn't know what to do. But it never occurred to me to go see a doctor. Instead, I called my ex-girlfriend, and she lives upstairs, my ex-roommate, and I'm like, please come down to my apartment to come check my belly. She comes in, I open the door, I lay in my sofa, she touches my belly. She's like, oh my God, girl, what did you have for breakfast? Did you have rocks? And she's like, we have to go to the ER. And then I remember I didn't have insurance. So I was like, okay, Kaiser Permanente is a cheap hospital. Okay, so I drive myself to the hospital. I get to the hospital. We wait 3 hours. A male doctor comes and checks me. He lifts my legs. He touches my belly. He's like, you have a hernia. A hernia. A hernia. What does it mean? He's like, it means you can't do nothing crazy. Just keep it low. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. For 3 months, I can do this. Okay, so now I have to call my mother, my parents. They live in Miami, Florida. I pick up my phone. I call my mom. And I'm like, Mom, I'm coming out of the ER. They said that I have a hernia. She's like, a hernia? A hernia. And Mom, I don't have health insurance. Hands up. I told you. Why don't you ever listen to me? Why did you get your insurance? And I was like, Mom, don't worry. In 3 months, October, I get to have insurance again. She's like, okay, I'm flying to Los Angeles. I was like, no, Mom, please don't come. Just wait 3 months and then, okay, cut to 3 months. I go see the doctor, the hernia doctor. He checks me. He's like, no, you've been misdiagnosed. You need to go see a lady doctor. You need to go see a gyno for your lady parts. I call the gyno. I get to the gyno. She's like, okay, we have to do an MRI. You need to drink this gallon on an empty stomach, a gallon of white liquid. I drank that so they can see inside my belly. And then she's like, you're going to come back in 48 hours. I get there. Cut to 48 hours later, she's like, you have fibroids. I'm like, fibroids? She's like, yes, fibroids are tumors. They grow in the woman's uterus. And I was like, but she's like, but they're not cancers. And I was like, oh my God. What I thought I heard was like, you have a live garden inside of you, and I have to kill the uterus. And then she's like, I'm sorry, I have to remove your uterus. You're never going to be able to have a child. And I was like, what? Oh my God, I was so scared. The walls were coming in. It was like I was in a silent movie. It was horrendous. And then my mom proceeds to talk. She says, no, you are not removing Hazel's uterus. She's so young. The doctor's like, no. And then I can't do this. And my mom is like, well, you're not the right doctor. We're leaving. The doctor says, no, I can do this. No, she didn't want to pay. Cut to the date of surgery. My body is acting like I am 5 months pregnant without being pregnant. I gave birth to 28 fibroids, all inclusion, no discrimination, all sizes, the size of a grape, the size of an avocado, hard avocado. The biggest one, a size of a grapefruit. All to save the uterus. My uterus was saved. The moral of the story: don't be afraid to touch your body. And if there's something wrong, just go to the doctors. Thank you.
Woo!
Hazel Calderon, everybody.
Woo woo.
The one, the only. Hazel has changed all of our lives with her presence, and we've all heard this story multiple times, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I mean, she knows. We all feel this way. Your energy is infectious. We need you to be the next Cher having your own variety show. I need a sketch version of this where the fruit does come out of your body, right? And in the end, you're like, I saved the uterus, and you get like a trophy. So it's been delightful. And also, what I love about this class is like people go through such fucked up shit. And this affects a lot of women and people with uteruses. And like, can you imagine having that much fruit come out of your pussy? I mean, come on. So we're just glad that you're well. And thank you for a wonderful set. Good job, Hazel. We got 2 comics left. I'm going to bring your next comic to the stage. Brilliant, hilarious, wonderful. Put your hands together for Dion.
Thank you, everyone. So, I was diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer when I was 33 years old. I am fine now. In fact, my oncologist just broke up with me because I've been in remission for 8 years. So, and I said, Doc, don't ghost me. My boobs already ghosted me, not you too. She didn't think that was funny. And it felt bittersweet, like a graduation. I was like, yeah, on the one hand, I never want to see her again, ever. But on the other hand, am I ready to go back to the real world? You know what I'm saying? So basically what happened was I decided to do a breast exam. And it was like a drive-by breast exam because I hadn't done it in months. I was bored, and I had recently found out that like if you have breasts of a certain size, you should really be laying down when you do your breast exam, not standing up in the shower like those commercials used to say. And you're supposed to go from outwards in towards the nips. So I'm feeling it, and I'm just like, that's different. And if my tumor was a baby, it would be the size of a lemon. You know how they tell you your baby is the size of a peanut. So the size of a little lemon, carrying a lemon, and it was the perkiest my boob had ever been on that side. So winning. So I went to my doctor, and it started the beginning of many, many appointments. I feel like I had 1,000 appointments, and hundreds of hands touched my boobs. And it was just like, it was more awkward for them than it was for me, because I'm just like, this is the most action I've gotten in a very long time. So much so that, I had to tell the interns that look nervous, no, mi tetas es su tetas. Just have at it. And so I've gotten them both removed, even though I only found it in one breast, because, I wasn't taking any chances. Both of my boobs had to be perfect, okay? Because I was getting a makeover. And so when I told this to my breast surgeon, she was just like, I'm so relieved. You're so young, and I don't want you to have to worry about this again. I was like, yeah, that's the same reason. Meanwhile, I was thinking about how, like, every time I take off my bra, my breasts high-five my belly button. So they were the hottest throuple out there before it was a thing, except when I lay down, because of course the boobs would just separate as if they were a couple who were angry with each other before bed. So the Extreme Makeover Tata edition was my silver lining. not risking getting cancer in the other boob. That was cool. That was cool too, you know. And it was kind of weird, like picking out my breasts with my breast surgeon. He's like, "What do you think about these?" Like showing me the little like packets, and he was like, "Silicone, saline 2, double D's. You can have whatever you like." Like the sky's the limit. Your insurance will pay. I was like, all right, okay, this is great. So, you know, after my surgery, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my chest. You know how that feels? Like 2 watermelons just gone. It was free. Surprised I didn't float away. And so I turned 34 the next day, and I was a little annoyed that they planned it on my birthday. I was like, can we just reschedule it? They're like, we can't reschedule it anymore. And so they told me, you can leave if you poop. And I was just like, bet, I'm gonna make this happen because I will not spend my birthday in a hospital. And so I did what I had to do so that I could lay down in my house because I couldn't do nothing else. So it was just a better view for me. And I do have one gripe with the doctor because he told me it was going to be a nipple sparing surgery. And I don't know about anybody else here, but my nipples were my favorite part of my boobs, the most important part of my boobs. And later on, when he did, you know, reconstruction, what he gave me could only be described as raisins on a small chocolate pancake.
No.
It did not do my illustrious nipples or marvelous areola any justice. Truly, that's the worst thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. So if I had to list it in the order of like worst to like the worst thing, it would be losing my nipples, dating a narcissist, not getting on The Voice, and then having cancer. So, all right, everyone, that's my set. Thank you so much. You were wonderful.
Dion.
Raisins on a Small Chocolate Pancake and Other Stories by Dion. Yes, can't wait to read it. What a fabulous memoir title. That was amazing. And you know what? So, right, because I'm the teacher and this is the class show, like I like to talk about people's journey. Dion's been working on this material from different angles over the past couple weeks that we've been in class together, and like just came with so many new punchlines and like great, you know, it was really, really great to see that. And it's always wonderful when we get to the show and students, you know, throw in some extra comedy, right? Because they're like feeling good. And, you know, like Evangeline earlier too, she gave us an act out that we had never seen before. So I just encourage you all, keep going, have fun. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Dion. Great set. Okay, we have your headliner for the evening. What can I say? Another rock solid Goldie. I would make her my TA, but honestly, in some ways, she knows more than me. A delight, a beacon, a wonder, a marvel. I'm walking the crowd, so I should shut up. Please welcome your last comic, Cynthia Overton.
Thank you very much for that beautiful introduction. I'm Cynthia. I walk with a cane. I'm disabled. You know, if you prefer the term differently abled, I get it. I used to be part of the street walking community too. I appreciate your wokeness around my self-esteem, but you know, what I could really use is an elevator. Maybe some Uber Cash. How about a piggyback ride? I've got a lot of friends in the LGBTQ community. That stands for legs go by too quick. Most of my friends are cool, like my friends who've joined tonight, Emily and Tiffany. Some are fake though, you know, the fake ones that invite me to do stuff like going on hikes. because they figure if they need special footwear to do it, chances that I can participate are slim to none. So my favorite is when people tell me that they know what I'm going through because they sprained their ankle one time.
Hmm.
You know, probably when they were out there doing something like hiking. And I don't want to victim blame here, but you kind of brought that sprained ankle on yourself. I mean, my situation is permanent. Saying that we're the same because you sprained your ankle is kind of like updating your Facebook status to in a relationship just because you had a one-night stand. Not how life works, folks. And then here's the thing, I also have to deal with the media, like pushing these stereotypes about cane users. What is it about cane user that says conniving to you? I mean, think about it. The Riddler, cane user. Lucius, cane user. Scrooge McDuck, cane user. And here's the thing, Scrooge McDuck, he's not even disabled. He probably just started using that cane to cut the lines at Disney. It's not right. So let me tell you what happened to me. It started back when I was having like brain fog and back pain. Doctors thought it was stress, and stress would make sense today in 2024 with everything going on in the world. But you know, back in 97, the only thing that we were really stressing over was that like slow dial-up internet service. And once you got connected, how could you really even think about global conflict when you've got mail? And and Tiffany remembers back in the day when you got mail, getting one email was like equivalent to 10,000 followers today.
Yes, it was.
And I didn't really worry about my symptoms until my legs stopped working. And that's when the doctor told me that I had to go to the hospital, which was overwhelming. And I was just honest with the doctor. I was like, look, I've got a hair appointment after I leave here today. So this is no good. I think I can go to the hospital on Friday. And the doctor was like, you don't understand. You have to go right now. You might be dealing with a stroke. So turns out it wasn't a stroke. It was an arterial vascular malformation in my spine that hemorrhaged. And if you know what that means, you watch way too much Grey's Anatomy. So, let me break it down for the true crimes fans. A blood vessel choked out my spinal cord. Turns out I needed this like really rare operation. It was a procedure that most surgeons avoided because the risks were just too high. And back then, doctors, they weren't online like they are now. So my family had to make just a lot of phone calls to find a doctor with the skills for this operation. And those calls led us to a surgeon in New York City. And his name was Fred Epstein. And don't worry, no relation here. The problem was we didn't have his phone number. So my cousin, who's a physician, called a doctor that she knew in New York to see if he knew Dr. Epstein. And the guy says, no. The guy says, no, I don't know. Or said the guy says, actually, no, I do know him. And he says, not only do I know him, I'm having breakfast with him in the morning. I'll tell him about the case. So it turns out that Dr. Epstein agreed to do the surgery. I didn't know if I was going to live or die. So I actually called my credit card companies to cancel the account. And if you've ever wanted to know, if you've ever wanted the credit card people to know what it feels like to be uncomfortable with these telephone calls, all you have to do is tell them that you don't know if you're going to be around during the next billing cycle, like if you don't know if you're going to be alive. They will try to get you off of the phone so quick. It was like the most amazing thing. I've never experienced anything like that since. I mean, they come up with all these excuses, but it was great. So fast forward a couple of weeks. We go to New York to meet Dr. Epstein to get the procedure. He was so incredibly nice, so humble. The nameplate on his door, it didn't even say Dr. Epstein, it just said Fred. We asked him how to pronounce his name, his last name, Epstein, Epstein. He was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. He asked my mom what she did for a living. She was like, I'm a special education teacher. He was like, oh, I used to have a learning disability. And we were all like, wait a minute, what the heck? You're about to do this surgery. And he was like, don't worry, I'm totally fine now. I can do this. And as it turns out, people from all over the world traveled to him to get this surgery performed. And he did the surgery. It ended up saving my life. But as expected, and we were not surprised by this, it left me paralyzed at age 26. And this was devastating for me because I had just bought a new pair of high heel shoes. And my medical team, they didn't believe in me enough to let me break them in during physical therapy. So going from walking to being paralyzed, it was tough because I had to watch people enjoy all of the things that I love to do. It was like if your apartment was right next door to your ex's apartment and you shared a bedroom wall with a window. It was just really uncomfortable. Plus, nobody, when I was a wheelchair user, nobody felt comfortable just having like a regular conversation with me. It was like going through life with a booger in my nose. You know, people saw it, they didn't know if they could say anything about it, but it taught me a valuable lesson. I mean, sometimes people might be okay with you saying something if they're walking around with a booger in their nose. So I was a wheelchair user for less than a year. I went from a wheelchair to a walker. Now I use a cane. And even after all these years, people really go out of their way to try to show that they don't see disability. And I got to be honest, I just wish that the cops went out of their way to show that they don't see color, you know, that they don't see. And it's tough because a lot of folks really underestimate people with disabilities. But what most folks don't know that, you know, a lot of people with disabilities do a lot of great things, like Mark Zuckerberg, you know, the guy who founded Facebook, he has a disability. You can Google this. Mark Zuckerberg was actually born colorblind, but he has not let that stop him from keeping Black folks from getting jobs at Facebook. The best thing about walking with a cane is that I've gained like so much confidence. And I don't mean like, oh, I can do anything confidence. I'm talking about like that straight white male confidence. Like, even though I can barely walk, I thought ice skating was a good idea. You know, you can just call me Bob, okay? I just had that confidence. I'd never seen a cane user go ice skating before. I've never seen anybody with a cool cane that looks like an icicle before either. So I'm thinking I'm special. I got out on the ice and just like reality kicked in. But you know what, y'all? It didn't matter because all I had to do was find someone to hold me up and help me around the rink. I got all the credit. The person helping me around the rink, they just got to do a good deed. So now, you know, I just walk around looking for people to be the wind beneath my wings. That's how I roll. But seriously, at the end of the day, I don't want anybody to feel bad for me. In fact, I want to be treated just like you. Except for when it comes to parking, waiting in lines, or getting a seat on the bus. I treated as differently abled. Cynthia, thanks for being a great husband.
Cynthia Overton, everybody. You know, Cynthia just has the most expert timing and delivery, and nobody can do a misdirect like Cynthia Overton. One more time.
Woo woo.
Friends, this was our show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for enjoying the comedy. Thank you for laughing at our pain. You know, it's why we're here. Sad clowns unite. And if you are a guest, we ask that you please hop off the Zoom and then we'll do a little recap. Thank you, Tiffany. Rocky, see you soon. I hope you're my
Bye,
favorite.
y'all. Thank you. Thank you. See y'all later. Thank
Toya,
y'all.
thanks for coming. All right, I may just, there we go. Okay, cool. Good job, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for pumping us up and teaching us
Yes.
and encouraging us and being so supportive. That makes all the difference. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure and a great joy for me. I love working with talented people.
And can I
you
just
know.
say something? Hazel, man, Hazel, you are so different tonight. Your material has always been good, but I'm like taking notes in terms of your performance. You were amazing.
Oh, thank you, girl. And you were too. All your punchlines were amazing. Everybody was.
Everybody was
Yes, I really enjoyed everybody's performance. Those were really good.
Everybody did such a great job. And this is just the beginning, right? Because, okay, now you've developed the material, you've tested it in this Zoom setting, which is wonderful. But okay, so now can we take this out into the real world? What is it like when we perform this in front of a live audience, right? And you got to remember, performing on Zoom is different than performing in a comedy club or a bar or a storytelling show, right? So when you go out and try this material, I think the biggest thing, especially because everyone's material here is very personal, right? Don't be afraid to connect with the audience. Let them come to you, right? Let them agree, like feel you and agree with you, right? Because everybody has had similar experiences to the ones that you're talking about, right? Not everybody has been paralyzed, but most people have had some kind of like scary medical emergency, right? And they can relate on that level. Not everyone has had cancer themselves, but probably everybody knows somebody that they're close to that has had cancer, right? Not everybody has been an autistic student who, you know, dealt with drama club drama, right? But they've been the outsider in their own way, right? Not everybody has a narcissistic mother, but people have difficult relationships with their family members because family is hard, right? Not everybody has had fibroids, but everybody likes fruit. And so, you know, take the confidence that Gold and that working with me gives you and bring that with you wherever you go. Because first of all, the world needs you. And second of all, you deserve it. You deserve to feel confident. You deserve to share your story and be the authority, right? If there's one thing that I can hammer home to you guys, it's don't ask for permission and don't ask for the laugh. Tell your story. You're funny. You will get laughs, right? So, I mean, that's it.
And can I just say, Dion, I love the T.I. Song that you included. That was
great.
I was not expecting that.
You
Oh,
added
Dion.
so many good punchlines, Dion. The
Thank
fucking
you.
on the pancake. I was like,
Dion, my favorite punchline you had was "Mi teta is your teta."
Yeah, I saw you laugh. I'm like, I'm not translating it.
That was so good.
And Evangeline, the delivery of the Regina George reference.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
That I
yes.
think that was my favorite
voice?
part. That was so good.
everybody kicked it up a notch tonight.
I
Emily,
was-
you really relaxed a lot. and you've been getting more and more relaxed as you go, and that's really helping you and strengthening you. Even Lynn said that. Lynn was like, wow, Emily's really like embodying herself and like being confident and taking it slow. And that's huge. It was a great punchline when you were like, at least I'll be able to use her Honda.
That was you.
And
Doesn't
Emily,
matter.
Yeah, but the way he delivered it, like it
Yeah.
was relatable. Like honestly, and I'm not just saying it. Every single person I feel like Carolyn said stepped it up. It was just like the light turned on, and I can't wait to see like where everyone goes with this content.
And Emily,
also-
I really
go ahead.
liked how you used the camera, like going into it. Like I felt like you were looking into my soul and telling me.
What was I going to say? Shit. Yes, to Dion's point about this material in particular, you guys might not realize this, but like you all actually delivered in a very effortless and receivable way stuff that's actually very hard, right? So hopefully you take that as a win from this class, because I remember Hazel specifically, you were like, I've never talked about this. This is so scary. It's something I really want to talk about. And then by the time you got to the performance, like Cynthia said, you just you went level 1000 with it, So
Yes,
yeah.
in
And
the best way.
yeah, and hopefully that's really freeing and opens up new doors for you to do that more.
Can I tell you something? Well, I took it to the stage. I took it to the open micers and I worked it, and it was really hard for me. Like, being in this class, it has changed my comedy forever. I've been crying on stage. People cannot believe, like, they're like, what the heck happened to Hazel? Like, I'm having meltdowns on stage. And it's because it's something that means a lot to me. So like by me talking about it, it has taken me somewhere else. Like I've been crying on stage. Like I'm not lying. Like I had a meltdown on stage in front of everybody. And I was like, what? That just happened. It was really scary. Yeah. So
But
yeah.
then you got to the other side of that.
Oh, yes, yes. But if I feel like so relieved because I was holding on to this for such a long time. And now that it's out, it's like, yeah, I'm free. Bring it on.
Fucking
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been a delight, and please come back anytime.
When is when are you teaching this again?
So I'm taking a little break just to try to focus on bringing Chuck to Edinburgh, but I'll be back in the fall.
Okay.
And so if you want to sign up for that one, feel free. If you want to, let somebody who's in gold, hey, I really liked Carolyn's class, try it, or somebody who's not in gold yet, always happy to meet new people, and I'm constantly inspired by the people that I work with. So
Yeah, I mean,
thank
the way
you guys.
that I look at this, honestly, is that until this is ready, I just feel like I'll continue to get value in terms of taking the class. So no pressure, but I'll do it.
But I'll be back.
She'll be back.
Carolyn, have you seen the Terminator? Because I'll be back.
Caroline, what about your mother's story? That was genius.
Thank you.
Breaking the wrist, the ankle, about the ankle. That was
It's
good.
true. And she really said that too. There we were fucking on the campus of Cornell, and she goes, it's so funny. I don't fall when you're not around. I was like, yeah, do you get it?
Like he's trying to blame you, but it's like, no, you want an
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah, it's like, so I don't know. I'm seeing this guy, and we're like instant like soulmate connection, like just it's so weird. It feels dumb to even talk about, because it's like, that effortless love that you've heard of in poems of yore. But it's like it does feel like that. And I told him, I'm like, ever since you came into my life, like I don't even think about my mother anymore.
Oh, that's sweet.
I didn't know that was the salve that I needed, but turns out.
Before you
Oh, go ahead.
No, before you go, I wanted, because I was like you mentioned, it is really personal, the content. And so I'm thinking about where else to perform it, and like, you know, I'm there's shows out there for trauma and comedy, but I was when I was looking over my content, I was like, well, this is kind of like a story in a way. And
Well, yeah,
so
the
would
way that
you?
you did the set tonight, it was all punchlines. I mean,
Oh,
I
nice, thank you.
could absolutely get away with doing that. The set, the way you delivered it tonight, you could do that on any show.
Well,
Okay.
and
Any
then
show.
also, Dion, I was thinking you might want to, and maybe you're already thinking about this. You know, I'm trying to get something together for both Disability Awareness Month and Disability Pride Month. And with yours, I mean, it's something, of course, you can do year round, but I mean, like, I think you could get paid corporate gigs during
Mhm.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes, so true.
Thanks. I will look into that because as I was writing it, why it has so much more than before is because like, yeah, I want to talk about how they messed up my nipples. Like this is people need to know because
Yeah.
it's just that it's not stuff you hear about. It's not something people think about, but it's like I have to figure out like what color I want my nipples to be. So it's just like
Yeah.
it's really interesting.
And
Yeah.
it's great. And I told you, if you ever get a chance, just one thing you can do, follow Julia Johns on Instagram. And if her show is ever back in New York, go see it because it's all about her dealing with breast cancer. And her
Mhm.
material is obviously totally different from yours, but just to see somebody doing that in a way that is really funny and really digestible to the audience will give you some inspiration about like where you can go with your stuff. And she's been working on this show for I want to say a year and a half. So it's like when you've got these big juicy topics like this, it takes time to work them and get them to where you want it to be, you know.
Yeah. Like I
And
still feel like there's more I can add, like the
Well,
continuity.
this is the beginning for you. I think you've got
Yeah.
a lot here. Hazel, you wanted to say something. Yep.
yes, and Dion, you can take it to the moth too and compete.
Mm. Okay.
For sure. The only thing about the
Yeah.
moth is that they're very strict on time. So
5 minutes, right?
it's 5
Mhm.
minutes, and if you go over, they'll just kick you off the
Wait,
stage.
what is the moth?
It's a storytelling show. So they do something called a slam, which is like a competition. And you don't get booked. You have to put your name in, and then you
Okay,
your name
yeah,
gets
we talked
pulled.
about this, yeah.
And then if
Mhm.
you win the story slam, then you can participate in the grand slam, which is sort of like the big fancy show.
Okay.
But a lot of people have made names for themselves in the moth, and it's a good experience. I check it out, go to one and see if you like it.
And it's sponsored by the radio station. I forgot what's the name of the radio station. So if you win, your story gets to be played on the radio.
Yeah, NPR plays moth stories.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's cool. And there's moths in every major city. So there's one in Boston. There's one in New York. There's one in LA. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, I would say the moth, they really want stories, not jokes. And 5 minutes. And listen, one thing we didn't get to say, and I just realized it. This was Evangeline's first stand-up set ever.
Yes. Welcome.
So that's worth noting, right?
Yeah.
You
Listen.
came in with these pros, who are continuing to hone their craft, and you held your own.
Yeah, because like Carolyn, in the beginning, you're like, oh, I'll work with you. And then it was just like second class, she was having zingers. I was like,
Yeah.
Evelyn got this.
Yeah. So how do you feel?
I feel really great. I'm gonna miss all of you, but this semester they're gonna do sketch comedy, which I've never done before. And also the other class for like stand-up boot camp, because there was gonna be an advanced one, but apparently not yet. So I'll just take that one because I still want to like practice comedy and also learn how to do sketches.
Yeah, it's great. It's going to be, both classes are going to be great. And stand-up boot camp is great because it'll teach you how to write short jokes, using sort of a different tried and true formulas. And you'll like that as a writer. So that'll be great. Okay, 'cause I'm gonna miss you too.
Hey,
I'm gonna miss you.
Carolyn, your friend, who's
everyone.
the warm-up person at the View, tell her that your student thought she was great. I'm the
will.
one who did not know how to turn my phone off, and she gave me a good time about that
Okay, I'll tell her.
in
Yeah.
a very loving way.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, Italian girl, you know she's gonna be loving as she's yelling at you.
She was very sweet.
Good night, everyone. Hope to see
Bye,
you in another
thank
class
you.
soon.
Much,
Bye,
everybody.
Dion. Listen, bye guys. I hope, if you need me, I'm around. Come find me, email me, hit me up on Gold, find me on Instagram, whatever. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks for
Thank you.
everything.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.